Good morning, everyone. Hope you are doing fantastic. Sunday morning here in the US on the East Coast. Prices of BTC currently at 93.40. I hope you guys are doing fantastic and having a great weekend. To my Indian folks in India, happy Diwali. Hope you're doing great. Cryptosomniac website, folks. First thing, let's get the bills out of the way. All right. So again, we have the technical analysis course right here, which you can buy. And this course will give you 7 free days of advantage access. And that's all these locked channels that you see. This is where I post a lot of information. For example, how I'm moving stops around or what to look out for today, which coins to look out for. And then open positions is the positions that I'm taking, whether it's shorts, longs, I'm buying XYZ coin or I'm selling XYZ coin, whatever. Short term is I'm announcing the positions I'm taking for the shorter term, like maybe a few days, couple hours. Medium terms are the ones I'd want to take for days or weeks. So these are like swing positions, and these are long-term positions right here, okay, which I want to take, for the longer period, like a couple months, maybe a year or so, all right? And then Bitcoin analysis, obviously you guys are watching this video. I provide a ton of analysis in here for our Advantage members every single day and multiple times through the day with updates, right? So yesterday I tried something different with our community, which is the go-to meeting. I'm starting to do more live recordings because I want to provide more insight to my community where they can ask questions directly as I'm doing it, okay? And then I provide a night update every single day, so people in Asia and Europe and Africa, Australia, New Zealand can understand exactly what to look out for while I am asleep in the US time zone. Okay, so there's tons of information that I provide, folks, and I really lay out the game plan pretty clearly. Okay, so you have no sort of room to start thinking with emotions or bias or etc. Okay, even if the price moves excessively in one way or another, these are possibilities and probabilities that I do cover in my analysis. So for the most part, unless something unexpected happens where Bitcoin goes to zero or goes to 100,000 in 12 hours somehow, obviously that's not going to be covered in my analysis, but I do lay out the potential paths that price can take, all right, through my analysis, okay? So first things first, let's get to the price. All right, let's get to the shorter time frames right here. All right, I do want to say that I did just take a short like somewhere around here, 94.50, 94.75 or so. Again, I announced this to my Advantage community members. I took some profit right there, as you can see, filled that. Nice easy gain for the day for me. It was such an easy trade. I honestly just woke up and I saw, okay, well, what's happening with price? Pulled up my chart, and I saw, okay, well, I saw over here that price topped off, bounce here, bounce here, bounce here, boom, ripped through, push back up, couldn't really push up to resistance, and then pulled back down again, ranged for a while, pushed up, and then pushed up all the way again over here. So I figured at the most, this has got to be resistance because this was support. So sometimes it's as easy as shorting resistance, selling or shorting resistance, closing at support, and buying at support and selling at resistance, right? That's honestly the language of the game of trading. Okay, technical analysis is truly the language of how markets operate, right? So if you understand technical analysis and you actually understand how markets move, and that you don't have to actually try to predict how far price can go or when it's going to bounce or where it's going to bounce. Sometimes that chart really just gives out really, really great levels. Okay, so you may not hit it on the point and it may deviate here and there from your entry, but if you set stops properly and you are ready for your game plan to be executed with, say, take profit marker, or exactly that if you get in, say, right here for a, one second, I don't know why that's going on. If you get in right here for a long, right, and this is your short right here, this is your stop right there, okay, your target should have been this up here, right? So this would be a first target right here, which is the closing of this candle right here, which hit on the dot, or up here, which is this resistance. So this stop did not get hit. You actually, moved back up into break even and then, broke up into profit. And then for me, obviously, like I said, I didn't get to catch this move again because it was overnight for me, but I did get to catch this move right here, which was shorting right here, selling right there. Very simple, easy money, right? Okay. All right, so let's get to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so on the 1 hour, I see something like this going on, which could be a nice sort of cup and handle. If the handle gets created like that, remember cup and handles are bullish patterns, so they could break up. And that's, again, on this 1 hour time frame, okay? On the higher time frames, things do get interesting, but I'll get to that in a second, all right? So now that we have something like that going on, however, here's something interesting. Or actually, let me go back to that 1 hour chart. Here's something interesting too, okay? So the last couple hours, we did see some volume ticking up slightly in terms of demand, but look at the sellers that stepped up and really just crushed the price. Look at that high volume just coming up right there, okay? And now this candle is trying to, climb back up, see if we can, climb up and break out of this high right here. So what you should now be looking out for on the 1 hour time frame is you can see all these wicks and all this stuff right here is hitting that area. So that's around 94.15, 94.25 or so. Right, so if we get a 1 hour close above that somehow, okay, I would feel a little bit comfortable taking a potential long, and I would target again this area right here, which is this green candle. So at the low of 9,500 to a high of about 96.85, let's just say $9,700, right? So around that area, okay? So that could be a potential long. But again, now I'm giving you guys these possibilities and scenarios so you can map out for yourself what you want to do, okay? In terms of our Advantage members, I tell them exactly what I'm going to do, and if they want to follow, again, it's not financial advice, so you can do whatever you want. But for the most part, as you can see, our trades work out pretty well, right? Because, I like to be a trader, void of emotions when I'm actually trading and when I'm actually, watching the moves in the markets, okay? It's very easy to get tied up with your emotions when price accelerates like this and you don't have a game plan, okay? Here, I'll tell you something completely honestly, right? In this area right here, okay, I was actually short and I closed out somewhere around 76.50 or so, all right? So I'm glad, but I did take it in profit, by the way, okay? So I was short from up here, somewhere over here, and I closed out over here. Did I know this move was going to happen? Of course not, right? I don't think anyone knew this was going to happen, first of all. I think we knew that we're gonna get a bounce here because there was a lot of buyers stepping up, but no one predicted price to go from 7,400 to 10,400, okay? No one does that, right? And if you did, you're a genius or probably a liar, okay? More likely you're a liar because, no one was able to predict a massive movement like this. But I didn't have a game plan set, so I didn't take any longs because I had no idea where this thing was going to stop, and that's okay. That is the life in trading. All right, you will miss some big moves. You'll miss a lot of moves. You'll make some money on some good moves, and sometimes your game plan will execute almost perfectly and even exceed your expectations. Okay. But for now, this was not part of my game plan. But what is part of my game plan is little things like this. Short here, sell here. I bought here yesterday, somewhere over here, and I sold here. Okay? So I already got 2 nice trades out of it, right? And I'm going to probably, make some other swing trades and whatever scalp trades that I can make through the day or, through the next couple days while this whole range resolves itself and lets us know exactly what's going on. Okay, so on the 4 hour time frame, all right, this is very simple too. Okay, so on the 4 hour chart, you can see this big wick to the upside, rejected right at these candle closings right here, right? Perfect idea again. If you were looking for shorts, that would have been your short. Your stop would have been higher than this wick right here. Okay, but I didn't get that opportunity. I actually caught it somewhere in the middle right here. Okay, so sometimes you gotta take what you can get depending on the time frame and the targets and what kind of structure the price is showing you. Okay, you don't have to catch every single trade. And just because the market is also open 24/7, you don't have to be in a trade, all the time, right? Sometimes you wait for the best setups and then let them play out. All right, so on the 4-hour time frame, what's happening here, folks, is, if we on the 4-hour time frame, okay, so this candle closed at 96.12, right? So I'm gonna put that right there. Let's just say 96.25, close enough. All right, so if we get a 4-hour close above this area, 96.25, all right, that would imply that the bulls are now looking stronger, okay, especially in this particular region. If we don't get a close above that and we start doing something like this, right, start going like this and then starting to turn back around, the first area price is going to hit is right there. Okay, I'm going to map this out for you. That's around 9,020. Okay, that's the opening and closing of these candles. Because why do I say that? Because when price got rejected up here, it came down all the way over here, bounced perfectly on a 4-hour close, had a bullish engulfing, pushed back up, but then, create a lower high, right? So this would then be our established range. It would be this right here. Whatever price does over here is, a nice scalp from this bottom to this top, or this top to this bottom, okay? But what I would figure is going to happen is it's going to do something like this. It's going to chop around right here, touch support, push back up, touch support, eventually break through, okay? Now, if we are truly to be bullish, okay, and let's just say, people are saying that we're now going to go up, okay? I mean, I do disagree with them, but I'm going to switch my bias, okay? So say I'm a bull, right? Well, what are my bullish opportunities? Well, I just told you, first one is right there, all right? A closing above 96.25 on a 4-hour time frame, or at least 2 consecutive candles on a 1-hour time frame. Then I feel a bit more bullish for targets around 10.5, 11,000, 12,000. We're probably going to go, more than likely, if we close above 10.5 or something, we'll probably go to like at least, the high of 13.9K that we had a couple of months ago. Okay. But again, we'll have plenty of time for that. All right. So if, as per my game plan, I think something like this is going to happen. Okay, so if we're truly to be bullish, right, and say, we're looking for stopping out some of these late longers right up here. Okay, so we're gonna do something like this: chop around, push back down over here. Okay, now this is the big test. Okay, this area right here around $8,700, and also way down here too. Okay. There's a couple of particular levels that I want to show you guys, all right? So it kind of looks like this, okay? So you can see this red block right here. Okay, so this was all previous resistance, and then boom, push through, okay? So at the very least, I expect price to come down here, which was, this was really a fake out, so I would hope that it comes down here around $8,500. And if it goes like this, right, say price goes like this, boom, 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 comes down here, and then it starts creating higher lows, I'm going to probably get in somewhere around this area, say $8,700, $8,800, keep my stop under this area, all right, around 83.50, 83.75. Because if price is going down like this, right, and it's going up like this, it should not come back down here, down this area, okay? So that's, a potential game plan for longs. Now, if I'm shorting, this is a very easy shorting opportunity. Why do I say that? Well, look, if we go back here into this previous area that was, support, also support, and then boom, broke through. That's exactly what's happening here. We are now using that same area as resistance, okay? And for the most part, this should be breaking down. So if this whole move was a short squeeze, which I believe it was to be, I would expect at some point this thing slowly bleeds down over the next coming day, maybe a week or two, and then at some point it's going to take out this low. All right. But again, if I'm wrong and we're supposed to start a new bull run, we should be coming down at the very least around 9,000, which was, remember, the candle closings and openings right there, or we should be coming down to this red block right here and then ready to push back up. So the point is that you're going to get plenty of opportunities, okay, whether you want to short or long. Chasing a trade, excuse me, chasing a trade is not going to help you in this case right here, especially if you're trying to long this, because what you're basically doing is buying resistance right up here, okay? So be careful. All right, on the daily chart, let's see. Okay, so here's another thing on the daily chart, right? I'm going to turn this volume off. Okay, so volume was pretty high. I do want to talk about that a little bit. Very high on this one, but look at the epic, rejection on this. So like this volume was really high, but almost 70% of that, 65 to 70% of that was seller volume right here. All this was sold, okay? So unless somehow this candle, closes back, or in the next couple of days close back above these trend lines right here, it's very hard for me to, imagine we're just going to keep going straight up without a retrace, okay? And again, 200 moving average, right around that area, right? So this could be sort of your, fake out up here, push back, and then resume down too. Again, I do have, it may sound like I have a bearish bias right now, but it's hard for me to say that, we're going to end this 4-month consolidation, then this 3.5-week consolidation in less than 24 hours with this. I mean, yes, Bitcoin has historically, made movements like this, but I don't think it makes movements like this to end, the bottom of bear markets, right? Like every bear market has ended with longer accumulations like this. So even if we're wrong, right? Say we're over here and say this was the bottom, okay? So even if we're wrong, this thing should still retrace, right? So if we're doing a retracement here, let's do a retrace tool, right? So if we're doing the bottom right there, say that was the bottom, say this was the top, at the very least, price should be coming down to 85.30. Remember what I said earlier? That's around this red block right here where all this stuff got rejected, right? Or if it's really bullish, right? So price should come back just over here at the 92.90 area and then start moving back up. It should then start closing above this 236 fib around 97.50, okay? So a couple different ways, again, to look at that, right? All right, on a weekly chart, okay, like I stated yesterday, again, to my Advantage members, why cannot this thing right here, be analogous to this? And why can't this pull back into resistance and then come back around, be analogous to this, pull back into resistance, and then we're ready to go back down, right? So you can see there's a lot of different ways to look at this, okay? But it's very hard for me to say that we're going to go straight up from here. I mean, it's possible, but price hasn't given me any long opportunities yet. So unless I was lucky enough to be one of the few that somehow called the bottom right here and I bought in right here and I'm sitting in nice profit, unless I took profit here already, I don't really know exactly how to take a long here other than wait for a close above this area right here. Like I said, $9,600, $9,625. Wait for a breakdown, retest of this area, 84, 8,500, and then wait for some higher lows like this and then get back in. All right. So you have some, trading opportunities, some things to watch. Let's see here. Let me see if there's anything else to see. Oh yeah, another thing, like I said, this yellow block that you see right here, right? I stated earlier, even on the daily chart, you can see this was support, support, support right there, support right there. Now you could see that the daily candles are not able to close above that. So all this has really done is, turn back around, got people to really FOMO in, and all it's doing is hitting resistance. So nothing really special here. All right. Now let's go to the weekly. All right. The weekly should be closing in about 12 hours. So this is a pretty good looking weekly. All right. But here's another way to look at this weekly is we did climb back up. However, we got rejected by this area All right, I'm going to pull this down a little bit. This was where the last weekly bullish candle that we had before a sell-off. So that obviously became resistance, right? You can see tapped it right there. Okay, so perfect rejection. And if the next weekly turns around, all this has really done is created a lower high, and then another lower high. Okay, so then this would really, you know, kind of put the bulls on their heels and let them understand the almost frighteningly strong nature of the bears, that they're not willing to let go of this range just yet. You know, even if it was a $3,000 push up in less than 24 hours, the bears didn't really flinch, okay, because the technicals still say that we do have more potential downside. All right, so that remains to be seen. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I don't really mind buying into Bitcoin, you know, at a higher price, but for now, you know, shorting is, to me, the best opportunity at this. All right, so I'm going to continue shorting until it doesn't work anymore. Okay, let's see. I guess another way to look at this is, you know, that whole parallel channel that I had drawn. Again, you have not seen a candle close outside of this, you know, big parallel channel, right? So again, this is all resistance. I mean, I want to sell here. I don't want to buy here. Okay. All right. So I think that's it. I'm going to wrap this analysis up. It looks like my second target just got hit too. So I had stated some, you know, target points right there, 92.50. I'm going to wait for price to hit 9,000. I'll see if I can do that. Like I said this morning, you know, I let my community know what I was doing. Got in right around 94.50 or so. So really great short opportunity. You know, again, we provide this kind of analysis, updates, trade setups, everything through the day for our Advantage members. So if you do want to join, you know, come join the technical analysis course and get 7 free days, or just join Advantage and come, you know, trade with us, learn with us, grow your sats. All right, stack your sats. Okay, take care, everyone. Cheers.